Welcome to this video. My name is Eva, and in this video I want to talk about The Notebook. It's a really interesting movie that I watched a couple of years ago, and when I watched it the first time I was thinking, wow, this is so romantic, but now that I watched some scenes again, I'm like, oh my god, what was I thinking? So my perspective has changed also with the background of like toxic relationships, abusive relationships, healthy relationships. So very short the story of the movie, and also this is going to be a spoiler, but the story of the movie is basically that you have those two people. So on the one side Noah, which is a guy who doesn't have a lot of money, and then you have Ellie, who's from a very wealthy family, but still they fall in love during the summer break of Ellie and then they spend a lot of time together, but Ellie's family, especially her mom, doesn't want her to be with Noah, so they have to break up, and it's quite traumatic. And then many years later Ellie's going to marry another guy from a rich family and is engaged to him, but then she discovers in a newspaper that Noah has restored the house, that they spend some time together, and then she's like super confused, doesn't know what to do. She visits Noah, and after some back and forth they get back together. And I think the first time when I watched it I was like, wow, this is so romantic. And I think there's also some really great aspects to the movie because it discusses a little bit like parental expectations, and to differentiate what is your parents want for you and also what is that you want for your own life. And also they discuss a little bit the gap in class and classism, so that was really interesting. But what now I find is quite different is just the type of relationship that Ellie and Noah have versus the type of relationship that Ellie and her man that she's engaged with have. So, for example, the relationship between Noah is very, I would I would just characterize it as toxic. It has those huge highs and lows. It's kind of a trauma bond. Some people also say like twin flame, but it's not a twin flame. It's just like two people who have a certain type of trauma, and they get together like two pieces of puzzle. Oh, the sun. So two pieces of puzzle, so it's very destructive for both of them. So a lot of highs, very high highs, very low lows, a lot of fighting, then making up, very high chemistry. So yeah, that is basically their relationship. And Noah as a person is also, I would characterize him as very immature. He's also coercive and possessive. So for example, right in the beginning of the movie we can see that Elio was not interested in Noah, but he kept pursuing her and went and to do like a super weird thing. Like he went on top of a cartwheel, you say, I think, in English, and yeah, super dangerous just for her to go out with him. So very manipulative in a way, and also a lot of unwanted gestures and very like infantilizing her. For example, saying, you don't know, to Ellie, you don't know what is right or wrong, like you're just a little stupid girl, something like that. So not the most immature, like not the most mature person. And Ellie is also, I would describe her as being immature. She hits him, and when they were a couple, and I think both of them just haven't healed. So yeah, probably, I mean, this movie was made in the 1940s or something in the USA, or no, earlier even. So yeah, back then probably there was not this awareness about healing, about psychology. But yeah, you can see that both of them have not healed. Also, Ellie is bored in her stable relationship that she has with her husband, who's really kind to her. And yeah, so you can see it. And also one very fundamental thing that is shown in the movie is that Ellie actually cheats on her partner that she's engaged with Noah, which is a very sad reality in that movie. And it just shows that Ellie is immature and very selfish. And I think that, which I think is so interesting, because both of them, like Noah, Ellie, and also the husband of Ellie, they're very objectively attractive and beautiful people in the eyes what we in our society right now consider as beautiful. So I think that a lot of people they justify a little bit the cheating and a little bit the toxic relationship by saying, yeah, but they're so beautiful as people and they're so attractive. And yeah, so I think some lessons that I've learned and some lessons that I think are so important to take away from this is, first of all, like, toxic behavior is toxic behavior, even though the other person is super attractive or super hot or super beautiful or any type of other thing that is important to you, like has a lot of money or a lot of fame or is very smart or has a high status or whatever it is that kind of is attractive to you in a way. But yeah, that person still is toxic. So for example, Noah, even though he looks like so attractive, his behavior is not healthy. And I think that now, looking back at the movie from the perspective that I have now after doing a lot of healing work and figuring out what are healthy relationship and unhealthy relationships, I wish that Ellie would have stayed with the person that she was engaged with, because that man was very mature, very stable, very kind, and very like healthy. And it's really a shame that she went back with Noah and get back into that relationship, because yeah, being attractive is not everything, and it doesn't matter how beautiful someone is or how much money they have, how much status they have. If you're with that person in a relationship, in a long-term relationship, it will be just detrimental to your mental health, because like, it's fun to be in a roller coaster maybe for a week or for a month, because it's like taking a lot of drugs and all the adrenaline. But if you have to be on a roller coaster for like so many years, it's exhausting and it really damages your nervous system. So yeah, I think that's really important to recognize. Just because someone is like beautiful, hot, high status, whatever it is, toxic behavior is toxic behavior. And I'm not like talking from a perspective of like I'm the mature one, because this also, like, now I have an amazing boyfriend, but before him I also dated a couple of guys. And with one guy, like, for me he was like super attractive, like wow, just very like very attractive. And for me, I think he had some traits that I would consider maybe not optimal if I would want to have a relationship with him. So yeah, very, I would say maybe a little bit toxic. And I was just thinking, you know what, that's toxic, but he's very hot, so who cares? But of course, then I continued with him and he ghosted me. So of course, was it worth it? No. So really important lesson: just because someone is hot doesn't mean that their behavior is okay. So that's important. Another one is the heart wants what the heart wants. That's such a stupid sentence, because it really keeps you in abusive relationships, because feelings are not everything. I mean, of course, sometimes it's beautiful. For example, if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and they live in a different country, and then you kind of love each other so much so that you manage and conquer a lot of challenges together, that is beautiful. But if it's like in that situation with Noah, if you have a partner like Noah who is abusive in some ways and who is manipulative, and with the relationship is not good, and then you just say, yeah, the heart wants what the heart wants, is just a really immature way of thinking. It's the same of saying, yeah, we are twin flames, so it does make cheating okay, which it never makes cheating okay. So the heart wants what the heart wants. No. You have to first realize with your head, is this relationship healthy? Is this partner healthy? And then your heart can follow, but you have to decide with your head first, with your intellect. First, make sure, is this person healthy? If this person is healthy and a safe space for you, you can open your heart. If not, no. But just saying the heart wants what the heart wants, no. Or just saying, yeah, we are twin flames, so that's why I should go back with him. No, 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 no. So the next one is another one. I mean, in the movie, like the cheating, and it was kind of portrayed there were no real consequences to the cheating. And I think cheating is such immature behavior, because I think that Ellie, of course the situation was really difficult for her. If you have on the one side someone that you're engaged with and you're maybe, yeah, like there's no real drama, but you kind of like that person and it's a good fit for you, and on the other side you have that man from many years ago with whom you never had a closure with. So and you're not sure if you fit, if you don't fit. Like, of course it's a difficult situation to be in to make that decision, but still it's your responsibility to, as an adult, to make a proper decision by breaking up with your, or by communicating with your ex or with your fiance and saying to the person that you're engaged with, hey, listen, I have this other man that is important to me, and then make a decision. Either you want to stay with your fiance, or you want to go back to your kind of first boyfriend, but you have to make a decision. You cannot have like everything, like eat, how do you say in English, I forgot, like eat a cake and have it too, something like that. Like you cannot cheat and be engaged with your partner. That's, I mean, you can do it, some people do it, many people do it, but it's not okay because you hurt your fiance who has done nothing wrong at all. So it's important as an adult to make a decision. Either you go back to your ex boyfriend and let go of your stable kind husband or like man that you're engaged with, or you stay with the man that you're engaged with and you lose that connection with your ex-boyfriend. So you cannot have both, you have to make a decision. So that is important. And also really important, I mean, don't glorify infatuation. So in the beginning of a relationship, it's always usually like this fireworks and all of that, but a true loving long-term relationship is not built on feelings alone. It's built on having a similar outlook on life, having similar value system, having a similar like perspective on life and on your future. That is like compatibility is really, and commitment is really what makes a long-term healthy relationship, and not just feelings, because feelings can come and go, and also that infatuation stage, usually one day it will just not be as intense anymore. So you have to make sure that you get that adrenaline rush from different sources, like for example different hobbies in a way. Yeah, so that is important to recognize that, because if you have that very immature point of view of relationships, that relationships should give you that up and down and should give you that infatuation, you will always be set for disappointment. So a healthy loving relationship is stable, it's kind. For some people who unfortunately grew up in abusive relationships like with their parents, a stable relationship might seem in the beginning boring, and it might take them some therapy in order to learn how to deal with that feeling of safety. But a true healthy relationship, it's stable, it's kind, it's committed, it's compatible, it's consistent. So that's important. Also, like what I found in the movie is that it's so much better to have the daily healthy tasks of and daily healthy gestures of respect. Like for example, if you're in a relationship and your partner brings out the trash bin, or brings you a little bit flowers, or like says, oh, you look beautiful, like those small gestures, it's so much more important than if you have that volatile relationship and that your partner does a lot of nonsense, but to make up to it, he gives you like this huge grand gesture of, for example, Noah in that movie, of building that house, or or like any type of huge gesture, like bringing you loads and loads of roses after he cheated on you or something like that. So small gestures of respect is much more important. Another one is that give the good guy a chance because I think that the movie then portrayed it in a way that Noah and Ellie had like this amazing relationship, but they didn't. Like in the movie, the relationship was like super volatile, lots of crying, lots of screaming, ups and downs, and being in a relationship like that for 20, 30, 40 years is exhausting. So it's really important to give the good guy a chance who is kind and stable, like the guy that she was engaged with, because it will be just much healthier. And that was important. And maybe the last one that I can share is first love is not necessarily like the most beautiful love. I think that in our society right now, at least in Germany, I'm from Germany, we have that obsession with like okay, you meet a person when you're 15 and then you're together for the rest of your life, and that is glorified and idealized, when in reality it's much better to focus on what is the quality of the relationship. Is there what dynamics are within that relationship, that is much more important. And I think that in this movie it was just like this glorification of like your first love between Noah and Ellie is like the most intense and the most beautiful one, and that's like, but I'm so grateful that I'm not with my first love now. Not like he's a great person, but we were really incompatible, and I'm so grateful that we broke up so that we can both find people that just are a better fit for both of us. And I think that, yeah, so I think this obsession with like first love being the most important one is just not true. I think you can find healthy, stable, beautiful love in any type of, or like most types of ages. And yeah, and I think it's not about your first love, it's really just about meeting someone who you're a good fit with, who you share different like same values with. And I think that's really the important one, to have that respect between each other. So yeah, so this is my perspective now on the movie. Like some scenes I'm like, oh, and now that I watch them now, it's just so cringe. I cannot even watch it. And yeah, so it's really important to recognize what is your perspective on love and relationship. Is it a mature one or is it a immature one? Ups and downs in a relationship and like those crazy highs and lows, it's not a healthy relationship. It's much better to have a stable, committed, kind relationship. And if you feel that a committed, kind, healthy relationship feels boring to you, it's your responsibility to go to a therapist and to talk with that therapist about maybe childhood trauma or other types of trauma, and maybe even your addiction to drama, and yeah, become emotionally mature so that you can actually have a very beautiful, healthy relationship. So thank you so much for watching. What is your opinion on the movie? Have you watched it? And what is your opinion in general on like love movies who glorify dramatic relationships? Yeah, write it down in the comment section. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, check out maybe the links if I offer something, if you watch this movie in a couple of months time or years time, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.